Hey guys, this is just a really fast video reviewing a couple things from Chapter 2. It's going to be super short. One thing that you need to know about from Chapter 2 are the different models of the atom and the experiments that created them. So just going through really quickly, we start with John Dalton, who just has basically the idea of an atom that he got from the ancient Greek philosophers. Later on, J.J. Thomson does the cathode ray tube experiment, discovers the electron, comes up with the plum pudding model, which has no nucleus, just electrons, in a positive pudding. Then Ernest Rutherford does the gold foil experiment, discovers the nucleus, so then we have the nuclear model. Niels Bohr discovers the electrons are in specific orbitals, so then we have the Bohr model with the electrons in specific places. And then finally, we have experiments like the double slit experiment, that show us that electrons are both waves and particles. And so our current model is the electron cloud model, which says the electrons exist around the nucleus, but we can't say exactly where they are. They're just somewhere, they have a probability of being somewhere in this electron cloud. Okay, that's the first part of Chapter 2 you need to know. Next thing you need to be able to do is find the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons in an atom. So you'll need your periodic table for this, but it's pretty easy once you remember. So first question, actually let's do this middle one first. This one's a little bit easier. How many protons, neutrons, and electrons are in an atom of argon? We got two numbers here. Remember, this bottom number is the atomic number. That's the number of protons in an atom. This big number up here, this is the mass number, and it is the protons plus the neutrons. So we already know that there's 18 protons. Now in a neutral atom, and this atom is neutral because there's no charge written, the number of protons and electrons is going to be the same. So there's going to be 18 electrons and 18 protons. That's just from the atomic number. Now to find the number of neutrons, we have to take the mass number, because that's the protons plus the neutrons, and subtract the protons from it. So if we do 40 minus 18, we get 22. So this is going to have 22 neutrons. Okay, you don't even have to look at the periodic table for that one. Super easy. Okay, let's go back up to the one at the top. It says how many protons, neutrons, and electrons are in an atom of chlorine-35. Okay, this number right here, this is the mass number, not the atomic number. So this doesn't give us any of our answers, but it will help us find the neutrons eventually. To find the number of protons, we need to look up chlorine on the periodic table. It's number 17. So it's going to have 17 protons, and since there's no charge, it's going to have 17 electrons. And then to find the neutrons, we're going to do 35 minus 17, and that's going to give us 18. So 18 neutrons. Okay, last, how many protons, neutrons, and electrons are in an atom of P3 minus? Actually, this should say ion. This is an ion now. It's got a charge. Okay, so this one is a little weird because it doesn't give you a mass number. So we can look at the periodic table. We can find the atomic number of phosphorus. It's number 15, so it's going to have 15 protons. Now, it's not neutral, so it's not going to have 15 electrons. It's got a 3 negative charge. That means it gained 3 electrons, so it's actually going to have 15 plus 3, so 18 electrons. Now, the neutrons are tricky since it didn't give you a mass number, but what you can do is look at the average atomic mass on the periodic table. This is 30.97. So what you want to do is round that to the closest whole number. So since it's 30.9, we're going to round it to 31. If it was, say, like 30.1, we would just round it to 30. But since it's 0.9, we're going to round it up to 31. So we're just going to say the mass number is 31, and then we'll do 31 minus the number of protons, 15. So there's going to be 16 neutrons. So if they don't give you a mass number, just use the number on the periodic table and just round it. Okay, so that is my review for you, and good luck studying Chapter 2.